What's up everybody, greetings from the UK. I am here for work, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about marriage and what it means for a man, if it is something that benefits a man or not. Before sharing my views and my opinions, I'd like to say that my belief and what I am utterly convinced today could be wrong. I always try to have the open-mindedness that no matter how convinced of how I am about something, I could be wrong. Things could happen, I could have experiences in life, and I could grow in some way or another that could convince me that what I thought in the past was not really accurate. My views on marriage, maybe they are wrong, who knows, maybe they are right. Let's get into it. For those who are not familiar with what a prenuptial agreement is, it's basically a document, a contract that in the event of a divorce, important things like division of property, spousal support, division of assets, protection of assets owned before marriage. But in layman terms, it's basically more often than not a contract created so that the man doesn't get screwed over. My view on marriage is that it's an unnecessary legality. At the end of the day, you don't need the government nor the church to confirm your commitment and your love towards another person. The only real proof of your commitment and your love towards another person is your actions, your attitude, and how you behave on a daily basis with your partner. No signed document, no legal status can really provide a sense of being committed and a sense of being loved. A sense of being loved and being committed comes from how the other person behaves towards you and how you behave towards your partner. That is what, for me, really counts. Above everything else, what I'm interested is in a person who has a high quality character and has high quality actions. But if you're a man who wants to get married, well, that is no problem at all. But I advise every man on earth before getting married to get a prenuptial agreement. If you have a high quality partner and your girl is a mature woman with intelligence and basic common sense, she may be a little shocked or uncomfortable when you bring up the prenup thing, but if she looks at things objectively and your prenuptial agreement is a fair contract, she will understand and totally agree with you. The kind of woman who will feel highly offended for such a thing is a woman who is not with you for the right reasons. The kind of woman who is highly offended by such a thing is a woman who her values are completely less than ideal for you as a partner. You want someone as a partner who values who you are as a person, your character, who you are, and not your possessions. You want someone who values you for who you are, and your possessions and your financial status should not be above the value of your character in her eyes. And girls who place as their top priority money and status are not ideal partners. They are partners who will bring you pain, who will bring you suffering, and who will not bring you a lasting, fulfilling relationship in marriage. On the other hand, I also think that it's extremely important that in relationships and in marriage, but not only in marriage, also in romantic relationship, you should have a realistic expectation. Most people experience a lot of suffering and pain in relationships because they expect that their relationships are always going to be forever, and they're always going to be incredibly good, incredibly perfect, and it's just going to last forever. And the reality is that it's not like that. Most relationships are subject to a state of constant change, and you also have a very high chance of separation. This, I'm not saying it in a negative way, but it is a realistic fact that 50% or more of marriages end up in divorce, end up in separation. And that is because life as time passes by, brings about a lot of changes in your personality, in your values, in your feelings towards other people. And it is very, very possible that the person who you love today, you end up feeling different about her or him tomorrow. And that is it's just a very normal thing that can happen. So avoid yourself some suffering by having a realistic expectation that it is a possibility that your marriage can end in the future. It is a possibility that your girlfriend, maybe in a few years, in a few months, in a decade or two, maybe she's not going to be there with you, and that is perfectly fine. At the end of the day, your sense of happiness and your sense of completeness should not be because you have a partner, should not because you have a specific friend here and there, should be only because of you. You already have the ability to feel 100% complete with yourself. Another thing that is a huge disadvantage of marriage is that it's fucking expensive. If you really think about it, between the marriage and the honeymoon and whatnot, marriages can end up costing up towards $27. And if you really look at it from an objective financial point, this is money spent, meaning it is not money that is going to make you money in any way. It is money that you will lose. If it were me, I would use $27,000, for example, to put a down payment on a new rental property that I could rent out. And that would be a much better investment for me and my partner. We could have a property that gives us a monthly return on years on end, as long as we have the property, as long as we don't sell it. And yeah. And so at the end of the day, if you want to have a fulfilling romantic life, it does not really matter if you are married or not. What does matter is that you need to partner up with somebody for the right reasons. And the right reasons is always because you value your partner's character above everything else. You value the connection that you have with your partner. You know, with certain people you have a great connection and a great vibe. So these two things should be, in my opinion, the most important things to have high quality relationships. It applies also for friendships, but I'm talking about relationships, romantic relationships and marriages. And what I see in a lot of people is that they value superficial things, which have their importance, but they should not be your top priority. Most men value the physical beauty of a girl above everything else. And as long as the girl is not that shit crazy, most guys who find a girl that is hot, most guys will date her. And I don't think that is correct. You should, if you want to have a high quality relationship, you need to be impressed by who the other person is as a person, about their character, about how they behave, their actions. And you also need to have like a very cool special connection. You know, that special connection that you have with one of your best friend or someone with whom you get along really well. That's the type of connection that you want to have with the person who you partner up for life. That should be your priority. In the same way, as I said, that most men value physical attractiveness, a lot of girls value a man's financial status, also his physical attractiveness, but a lot of girls value a lot the financial status and the social status of a man above everything else. And girls who put this as their top priority, as their top value in relationships, will not ever have high quality, fulfilling relationships, and they will feel the weight of emptiness as time passes by. The only way to have high quality relationships is for you to be impressed by who your partner is, to have a great connection with him or her, and These are the pillars, the super strong pillars that will help your relationship sustain all the ups and downs that come with a relationship. These are the strong arms that will be able to hold together a relationship when it's in difficult times, or when your feelings towards each other decrease a little bit for whatever reason. These are the things that will help you create a relationship that is fulfilling and can stand the test of time. So when you find somebody with whom you have that, it does not matter if you are married. It does not matter if you are legally married or not. What really matters and what really counts is your connection and your feeling of love and really liking who the other person is. So that's it for the video today. See you in the next one.